Welcome back to Make Play Treasure. Today we're reading Too Many Latkes, A Hanukkah in Shem by Linda Glasser. In Shem, the village of fools, Figo makes the best latkes. But every Hanukkah, she only makes a tiny batch. If you're lucky, she serves you one little latke, and you dream about it for the rest of the year. Except for one year, where everything went awry. It was the first night of Hanukkah. I don't remember my latke recipe, cried Figo. How will I make potato latkes? Well, you always use potatoes, her husband Shmuel remembered. But how many, she wailed. Was it 3 or maybe 4? I'll go ask the rabbi, said Shmuel. The rabbi? cried Figo. What does he know about making latkes? Bupkis, nothing. But he's the wisest man in Shem, said Shmuel. He knows more than you think. Well, maybe you're right, said Figo. Quick, go ask him. Shemuel ran to the rabbi's house in 2 flicks of a goat's tail. Rabbi, help! Figo can't remember her latke recipe. How many potatoes should she use? The rabbi's stomach gurgled. He hadn't eaten much all day. Tell her to use them all. Shemuel scratched his head. Are you sure? Are these my feet? The rabbi pointed. Of course, said Shmuel. Are you sure? Asked the rabbi. Sure, I'm sure, said Shemuel. Well, said the rabbi, I'm just as sure about the potatoes. On Hanukkah, that's what potatoes are for. You are so wise, said Shemuel, and rushed home. The rabbi says to use them all, he said to Figo. All of them? Is he sure? Asked Figo. Are these the rabbi's feet? Shemuel pointed. What? Cried Figo. Shemuel, where's your head? Right here, he tapped. Don't ask silly questions. Let's just do what the rabbi says. So Figo grated all the potatoes down to the very last one. Then she clutched her head. Boy, with all these potatoes, how many eggs should I use? I'll go ask the rabbi, said Shemuel. He raced over in 2 snaps of a chicken's beak. Rabbi, help! How many eggs should Figo use for the latkes? The rabbi thought for a moment. His stomach rumbled. Use all the eggs you've got. Shemuel scratched his head. Are you sure? Is this my nose? The rabbi pointed to his nose. Of course, said Shemuel. Are you sure? Sure, I'm sure. Well, I'm just as sure about the eggs. On Hanukkah, that's what eggs are for. So Shemuel ran back home. Use all our eggs. What? Cried Figo. Is he sure? Is this the rabbi's nose? Shemuel pointed to his nose. What? Have you lost your head? Shemuel felt it. No, it's right here. Let's start cracking eggs. So Figo cracked all the eggs, down to the very last one. Done. Then she groaned. Boy, but how many onions should I use? I'll find out. Shemuel ran to the rabbi's house in 2 flicks of a mule's ear. Onions? The rabbi tugged his head. His stomach rumbled. Use all the onions you've got. Shemuel's eyes bulged. Are you sure? Is this my head? The rabbi pointed. Of course, exclaimed Shemuel. Are you sure? Sure, I'm sure. Well, I'm just as sure about the onions. On Hanukkah, that's what onions are for. Shemuel ran home. The rabbi says use them all. Oh, my goodness. Figo threw her hands in the air. Is he sure? Is this the rabbi's head? Shemuel pointed to his own head. What? Cried Figo. My husband doesn't even know his own head anymore. What next? Onions, exclaimed Shemuel. Don't you remember? Let's start chopping. So Figo started chopping. She chopped and chopped. Then she fried up the latkes, up to her elbows, up to her armpits, up to her earlobes, and each latke was a golden, crispy masterpiece. Done. She wiped her hands on her apron. Then she held her head. Oi, we have too many latkes. If we eat all these latkes, we'll get bellyaches up to our eyeballs. Shemuel nodded. I'll go ask the rabbi what to do. He raced over in 2 shakes of a cow's tail. Hey, help, Rabbi. We have way too many latkes. No, the rabbi shook his head. There's no such thing as too many latkes. He held up his finger like a true sage. Just not enough mouths. Very wise, nodded Shemuel. But Figo and I have only 1 mouth each. Ah, the rabbi's stomach growled loudly. Don't worry, I can help. I'll come to your house, and I'll bring my mouth with me. But when they got to the house, the rabbi shook his head. I can't eat all these latkes, not even if I stuffed my mouth from now until the last night of Hanukkah. Boy, moaned Feigl. What will we do with all these latkes? The rabbi stroked his beard. There's only one answer. We need more mouths. More mouths? Shemuel felt around his face for more mouths. The rabbi shook a finger at him. Not our mouths. Go, invite the whole village. Quick, while the latkes are still hot. Tell everyone to bring one mouth each. On Hanukkah, that's what mouths are for. And so Shemuel did. The whole village rushed over to help solve the problem of too many latkes. And oi, did they help. On Hanukkah, that's what a village is for. There were just enough mouths and just enough latkes, down to the very last one. The end. Happy Hanukkah! And remember to like and subscribe so you can keep up with our reading events and activities. Catch you next time!